Live from your home team, News Channel 12 at 6 starts right now.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us for News Channel 12 at 6. I'm Scott Hennessy. Tonight is the night. Voters across California have 2 hours until polls close in the gubernatorial recall election. News Channel 12's Tracy Lair is live at the Santa Barbara County Elections Office with everything you need to know. Tracy?
And what I can tell you is if you come out and vote today, you'll get a sticker, either in English or Spanish, your choice. And we just saw someone who just became a citizen and voted for the first time get one. I can also tell you that there is a big turnout. A lot of special elections you just never know, but there's already been well over 100,000 people who voted, and the Registrar of Voters really thinks it is looking good countywide, but it all depends statewide. And a lot of people are here watching what's going on. You can drive through, you can walk in and drop and get your ballot timestamps, or you can go inside and vote in person as well. Here's what the registrar had to say about that.
We have 54 polling places located across the county. If you would like to vote a live ballot, go ahead and bring in your vote by mail ballot and give it to a poll worker. Then they can give you a live ballot, and we'll tabulate that this evening, and you'll see the results as those results come in.
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much.
And we talked to a visually impaired voter, and he wanted to make sure someone watched him sign his signature because he wasn't sure, if it would match what he did originally. But they are here to do that, and he felt really good about it. He also got a sticker. But people seem to be knowing what they're doing. And if you need any information, you can go on our website and find a link, because there are so many polling places. But you also can come out here to the elections office, because this is a polling place too. Reporting live in Santa Barbara, I'm News Channel reporter Tracy Lair.
Tracy, thank you very much. Today's recall election comes during a time of transition in San Luis Obispo County. It's the first vote since longtime elections official Tommy Gong left the office 2 months ago. News Channel 12's Dave Alley is live in San Luis Obispo to see how the election with interim leadership is going. Dave.
Well, Scott, so far it's going quite well in terms of the turnout here outside the government center, election headquarters, and there's been a steady stream of voters casting their ballots not only in this drop-off spot but also inside the building as well. Now take it back to last November, the presidential election. Afterwards, Tommy Gong, then the county clerk recorder, faced intense criticism by some here in the county over his handling of the election. He even endured a racial slur at a May Board of Supervisors meeting. Gong then left for a position up in the Bay Area soon after departing his position just weeks before this recall election.
Thank you very much.
Ballots arrive one by one, filling San Luis Obispo County voter boxes.
I think it's great, and I think it's showing an increase in civic involvement and responsibility all along the way.
The responsibility, making sure all county votes are counted and accurately, falls on Helen Nolan, now serving as acting head of the clerk recorder's office.
We're a dedicated group of professional election officials that are working together as a team. I'm very, very proud of my team.
Nolan wants all voters to have complete faith in Tuesday's election.
Our office is nonpartisan. We operate and we conduct elections in the most fair, honest, secure, safe, transparent way we possibly can.
However, some are skeptical. Arroyo Grande resident Lisa Fisk said she didn't receive a ballot after weeks of calling, so she voted in person.
I'm just losing faith and hope in the integrity process.
Other voters, though, feel differently, expressing complete trust in the system and in the leadership here at the clerk recorder's office.
I'm absolutely confident that the votes will be accurate and that they will be counted properly in this county.
But Fisk says she's worried about the process.
The quality assurance that my vote's going to be counted, I've never had to worry ever in my life before, and I'm just really worried.
Nolan encourages anyone concerned to come watch the vote themselves.
The public is welcome to come in and watch us. In fact, we invite the public in to see our processes and answer questions and show them what goes on behind the scenes, and we're happy to do it.
And Nolan says prior to today, the county has received 91,000 ballots in from the mail. There's about 185,000 registered voters here in the county, so it's just under 50% voter turnout even before today's count. The first results will be announced sometime shortly after the polls close at 8 o'clock. By the way, county supervisors, they voted to appoint a replacement for Tommy Gong. That should wrap up sometime in early October. That's the latest from here. Reporting live in San Luis Obispo, Dave Valley, News Channel 12.
Thank you, Dave. Millions of ballots have already been cast in the recall election. It's costing more than $200 million as 46 challengers hope to unseat Newsom.
California voters are heading to the polls to decide whether or not to replace Governor Gavin Newsom.
Hands down, he's just going to remain in office.
I sure hope so. I don't feel like California is going the direction that it should be going.
Governor Newsom hit the campaign trail with President Biden the night before the election. The recall initiated in response to the governor's policies on homelessness and taxes, and then heated up after Newsom's strict COVID-19 policies.
We can't allow the economy, not just our public health, to be impacted by a wrong decision tonight at 8 o'clock.
But he faces 46 challengers, including Caitlyn Jenner, who cast her ballot this morning.
If Gavin Newsom gets back in and he stays in, I personally feel that's kind of the end of the state.
Radio host Larry Elder is the front runner among the replacement candidates.
Businesses are leaving at record rates. More businesses have left so far this year than have left all of last year.
Under recall rules, a majority of voters must vote yes to oust Governor Newsom. If that happens, the top vote getter among challengers will become governor. With more than 8 million mail-in ballots already cast in this election, Republicans have already begun to raise questions over voter fraud. Former President Trump said in a statement today, with no evidence, the recall election is, quote, totally rigged. Larry Elder has launched a website encouraging his supporters to report allegations.
While most people are only voting on the recall, voters in Lompoc are answering another question on cannabis. News Channel 12's Karen Cruz Orduña is live at a polling place to explain.
Scott, some residents here in Lompoc are voting for a proposed cannabis tax increase, and the city says Measure Q would raise taxes on marijuana manufacturing and distribution if it's approved. It would make also various changes to cannabis tax regulations. The mayor says the increase would bring in roughly $1.2 million for the city annually. Lompoc leaders would use that money for parks, streets, police and fire departments and more. A manager of cannabis shop Elevate to Lompoc says he will support the city no matter what voters decide.
We know that the cannabis industry is pretty heavily taxed. It's not easy to survive with a lot of taxes, but at the same time, we're here for what's best for the community.
Currently, cannabis shops that make under $2 million pay a $15,000 fee. Any cannabis business getting revenue over $2 million pays a $30,000 flat fee. You can still vote now until 8 p.m. today. And for now, live in Lompoc, I'm Karen Cruz Orduña, News Channel 12.
Voters deciding if they want to switch from that flat tax to a progressive tax based on income generated. Thank you, Karen. Our coverage of the recall election continues on air and online. We'll have live team coverage throughout the evening. We'll also start posting results on our mobile app and website as soon as they're released. The first batch is expected around 8:05, just minutes after the polls close. Just head over to nc12hometeam.com and click on the Your Vote tab. Let's bring in Julia Espinoza now in the First Alert Weather Center. It is a nice night out there, Julia, isn't it?
Yeah, it sure is. It's a very comfortable Tuesday. We have that marine layer that we're watching, but at this hour, we're still in the clear as we take a live view overlooking into Santa Maria. Just a bit hazy getting alongside the coastline, but we're going to be talking about that. Santa Maria, right now, you are mild at 64 degrees. Your winds are calm under 10 miles per hour, so just a very comfortable evening. We're at 70 degrees in San Luis Obispo, and those inland areas finally getting that relief after very hot days throughout last week into the weekend and even for the start of the work week. So Paso right now, you're at 80 degrees. Comparing the temperature to the last 24 hours, you can see it's been the biggest difference with Paso shaving off 14 degrees, and across the interior valleys, that's where we've been and feeling those cooler temperatures. Because it's been a very persistent pattern from night into morning with that marine layer, we're seeing little to no change the closer you are towards the coastline. Now tonight, if you have yet to drop off your ballot, you may need that jacket. You can see temperatures are declining. By 8 p.m., we're going to be in the upper 50s, and then we're going to be seeing the possibility of some dense fog. So we break it all down coming up shortly. Scott, back to you.
Okay, thank you, Julia. Also straight ahead on News Channel 12 at 6, a special Eye on Crime report. What you need to know about thefts happening around the Santa Maria area and what you can do to keep yourself and your property protected. Continuing coverage of our top story tonight. Today is California's recall election day. Voters deciding if they want Governor Gavin Newsom to stay in office. You're taking a live look at the Santa Barbara County Elections Office, where voters today are able to vote in person at those polling places. You have until 8 o'clock. You can also drop off your ballot, put it in the mail or in one of the many ballot drop boxes. It's very easy to do. Just 2 questions on most ballots here. Yes or no? Would you like to remove the governor? And if so, who do you think should replace him? The results expected just after 8 o'clock tonight. Special effort is underway to get to northern Santa Barbara County communities where the vaccination numbers are not increasing at the same pace as other areas. News Channel 12's John Palminteri has more about a report to the Board of Supervisors showing what's being done.
For those hoping to return to normal after months of the pandemic, the roadmap to the endgame remains uncertain. Santa Barbara County supervisors were hoping to have 80% of the population with a COVID-19 vaccination before summer. They are closer, but not there yet. The latest numbers show 66.6% of the eligible Santa Barbara County residents are fully vaccinated.
To the dashboard, and 75.1% of people now have taken at least one shot. I wasn't sure we were ever going to get to that 75, but at least that tells you that 75% of the people believe in the vaccine, that they're willing to go take a shot.
The county says it's also been doing specific outreach to areas where vaccination levels are low, and recently those numbers have gone up. The outreach has been mainly in northern Santa Barbara County, in communities including parts of Santa Maria, Guadalupe, Sisquoc, Gary, Orchid, Vandenberg Village, and Casmelia. Santa Barbara County supervisors have also been told the number of new cases is no longer spiking, and the number of intensive care unit beds in use at area hospitals has gone down. The latest numbers show the most new cases are in ages 64 years old and younger. A county doctor briefed supervisors on how medical research is coming out about the accuracy of testing. And one supervisor wants that kind of update more often because of so many conflicting reports getting to the public.
How some of the things, unfortunately, that are being said are just so untrue. And it's important to tell the truth and tell it directly and tell it clearly.
Amidst all the data came a question about the future.
At the beginning, it was to flatten the curve and make sure that hospitals weren't overwhelmed and people could do their jobs and meet the needs of our community. And it seems like that's changed. And now, my question is, are we trying to stamp out all cases?
One county supervisor said her godchild was impacted, and she worries about impacts ahead on children.
A third of his class came down with COVID, including him. He's been 2 weeks at home with a fever of 103 and 104. His parents are so concerned.
What's still to be seen is if the return of in-person school, along with social activities and the upcoming holidays, will have any bearing on the day-to-day COVID numbers. In Santa Barbara, John Palminteri, News Channel 12.
And the latest COVID numbers in San Luis Obispo County show 7 new deaths. That's since the last update on Friday. The people who died ranged in age from their 50s to their 90s. 301 people have died since the pandemic started. There were also 303 new COVID cases reported since Friday. 41 people are hospitalized, including 15 in the intensive care unit. Tonight's News Channel 12, Eye on Crime. More shopping centers and businesses are opening here in Santa Maria, but it turns out that's making it easier for criminals to get away with your belongings. Officers with Santa Maria Police say thefts are prevalent citywide. Main Street Cycles has reported several break-ins. Officers say any large parking lot with businesses around it has potential for thieves. Police are also responding to reports from car owners about catalytic converter thefts. To protect your car, park it inside of a garage or in a well-lit area. Let's go back to Julia now and get our full forecast. Julia.
And hey there, Scott. And well, it's been a wonderful Tuesday. As we started off our day, we woke up to a lot of cloud cover, overcast skies, as you can see, a time-lapse view overlooking into Cuesta Peak. By the afternoon, it started to burn off, especially across those interior valleys, and then we were back to the sunshine. So it's been a very common, repeated pattern, waking up to that night to morning cloud cover. But this time around, it's extending further out towards those interior valleys, and it's leading to that relief that's needed, certainly out towards Paso. We started off this work week at 100 degrees today, looking at 92. Those 70s continued out towards San Luis Obispo, Santa Maria, and it was cooler for Lompoc, Pismo Beach as we drop down into the 60s. So temperatures are varying depending on just how much cloud cover you're waking up to during those early morning hours. And tonight we are experiencing a stronger onshore flow leading to a stronger marine layer. So by tomorrow morning we are seeing more cities than not under this dense fog, and you can see visibility is certainly going to be an issue beginning from Morro Bay, wrapping around Point Conception and down towards the south coast. So even into the city of Santa Barbara, we're going to be waking up to that trouble as we are going to be seeing a lot of cloud cover out there, and you may want to give yourself plenty of time as you head from point A to point B. It's not until our late morning where we are getting rid of that trouble as far as that visibility issue, and then it's just going to be lingering right off of our coastline from the central coast and down towards the south coast as well. Those areas getting a perfect 10 are inland, and it does include out towards Santa Maria, where your temperature will be warming to about 70 degrees by the afternoon, and by then you can expect mostly sunny skies. During those early morning hours, a jacket is certainly recommended. As you can see, we're going to be in the upper 50s for much of our morning. So moving forward, we are just experiencing an onshore flow pattern. And for that reason, we're waking up to the cloud cover, but it is extending further on out as we go towards our Thursday. By then, the marine layer is expected to be deep enough where we could actually be getting some drizzle out of that activity. Temperatures for everyone will be below average. And those inland areas, we're going to be talking potentially 70s and into the 80s. Now, that's quite the difference from what we're usually observing during this time of year. Usually we're dealing with all of that heat as we have been as of last week. So moving forward, your Futurecast model, late Thursday into Friday, we have another system heading our way from the southwest, and this is actually going to allow onshore flow to weaken. So we're seeing a weaker marine layer as we go towards our Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So better clearing, and we're also going to be seeing our temperatures just gradually warm up. It is very insignificant. On Friday, looks like we're just going to be picking up 1 to 3 degrees, and really for those interior valleys. The advisory that we have to talk about for the first half of our week is the beach hazards. Right alongside the central coast, we're going to be seeing high surf anywhere between 6 to 9 feet out there. So something to keep in mind, but we're also dealing with those very chilly temperatures. So possibly not a beach day as we go towards your Wednesday as well. By Wednesday night, it does lift at 9 p.m. But you can see Vandenberg, we're going to be dropping down to 69 degrees. If you are in Guadalupe, you're looking at a daytime high of 67. So temperatures declining by a degree or two each and every day. If you are inland Paso, we're going to be dropping down to 88 degrees. So it is going to be feeling quite warm and comfortable despite seeing those temperatures below average. And in Santa Maria, once we start that gradual warming trend going into the weekend, we're staying in the low 70s, just picking up a few degrees. San Luis Obispo, we're going to be in the lower 70s up until our Saturday. By your Sunday, a gradual warming trend returns. And next week, we are going to be talking warmer temperatures and potentially stronger winds. Let's look at your forecast. More news continues after this.
4 space tourists are set to see space for the first time. It is the first orbital mission in the history of spaceflight to be staffed entirely of non-professional astronauts. The crew features a billionaire, a cancer survivor, a geologist, and a raffle winner. They'll spend 3 days free-flying through Earth's orbit. This is all part of a SpaceX mission, and it's scheduled to launch from Florida tomorrow. How exciting that must be for all of them. A reminder, it is recall election night in California. We are bringing you coverage all night long. We will post election results as soon as they start coming in around 8 o'clock. Just head over to nc12hometeam.com and click on the Your Vote tab. Let's get one last check on weather with Julia.
Yeah, and for any folks heading out the door, just bring a sweater with you. Our temperatures will be cooling down. By 8 p.m., we're in the upper 50s for much of our coastline, looking at areas of patchy fog. And by tomorrow, our temperatures are going to be falling below average. For Santa Maria, it's another pleasant day in the lower 70s. And if you are inland, we're seeing those 80s with Paso warming up to 88 degrees. Mostly sunny skies by the afternoon. Scott, sending it back to you.
All right, great, Julia. Thank you. Election coverage does continue, along with more of the day's news right here in 2 minutes with Beth Farnsworth. Thank you for making us #1 for local news in Santa Maria. Be well. We'll see you at 11.